Hi there friends, welcome back to the channel. My name's Matt, I'm an economics graduate and Big Four qualified accountant, and today I'm going to address the widely rumoured sentiment that being an auditor is in fact really boring. I don't think it matters too much whether you're talking about audit at one of the Big Four or one of the slightly smaller scale firms, or in fact whether you're a brand new first year or a slightly more experienced assistant manager at the end of the graduate scheme. Either way, the word on the street is that the day-to-day work you're doing is pretty dull. Today I'm going to use my personal experience to give a view on this issue, and the way I'm going to explain it to anybody thinking of applying for a career in audit in the future is through the use of an analogy. So here goes. Let's imagine you've got a sunny Saturday afternoon to yourself, so you decide to dig out your fishing rod from the shed at the bottom of the garden and you take yourself down to the local pond. You set up your little stool, you apply some bait to the line, and then you wait, and then you wait, and then you wait some more. Unfortunately, this is representative of the nuts and bolts of the day job as an auditor. There are long periods where things do get pretty dry, I'm afraid. You're going to have to sift through hundreds of invoices, you're going to have to attend stock counts that can go on for hour after hour, and you're going to have to scrutinise a range of different bank statements, all of which have been scanned in at funny angles and half of them are illegible. There's really no getting away from the fact that if you're the sort of person that likes to constantly be moving at 100 miles an hour, it's probably worth considering whether a career in audit is really the right thing for you. In exactly the same way that an adrenaline junkie probably wouldn't enjoy a quiet Saturday afternoon down by the lake. However, if you are someone who doesn't mind the odd peak and trough in terms of levels of excitement, then this is where things can start to get interesting. So let's imagine that your patience is now starting to wear slightly thin after a couple of hours of very little interest from the fish, and you notice from round the side of the pond your friends are appearing with beers, food, a barbecue and some speakers. At this point the chat starts flowing and the general quality of vibes starts to increase massively. This is very much how things can also start to look up when you find yourself working with a really good audit team. There are going to be plenty of opportunities to build really good friendships within the team, in part due to the sheer amount of time you spend together, but more importantly just because the majority of people working at places like the Big Four are really interesting and are more than likely going to have a lot in common with you and be on the same wavelength. There are opportunities to work on away jobs, which, due to the location of client offices being deemed too far to commute to on a daily basis, you get put up in a nice hotel with a nice little budget to spend on your evening food and drink. And this is an even better opportunity to capitalise on the social aspect of the role, even more so than during the day when the primary focus is unfortunately probably work. Now the final strand of my analogy materialises when one of your slightly older friends from by the lake comes up to you, they offer you a cold drink, and they're also going to give you a handy piece of advice. They point out that you have in fact been fishing all day so far with your rod the wrong way round, and that a change is probably required if you're actually going to catch anything. Translating this into the life of an audit graduate, it's the equivalent of the fantastic learning opportunities that this sort of scheme can offer, both in terms of an understanding of how businesses operate, but also on a more personal micro level with things like technical accountancy and also interpersonal skills. And in my experience, all of this stuff you just sort of pick up doing the day job almost through osmosis without even trying. And in addition, it's heavily supplemented by the sort of focused studying you're going to do towards your exams, whether that be the ACA or whatever qualification you go for. So I do hope that slightly convoluted story made some sense in terms of explaining both the most and less boring aspects of audit life. There's no doubt that you've got to sacrifice certain things to pursue a career like this, but what you get in return for that is the chance to meet and work with some great people and kickstart your career through learning from really high caliber colleagues. It'd be really great to hear from anybody who disagrees with my assessment of the situation, whether you think I've been too harsh or too kind on the career. I think I've managed to be quite balanced, but do let me know down in the comments either way. On that note, that's everything from me today though guys. Hopefully see you in the next video, but until then, stay safe and bye bye.